y'all. Welcome to Behind the Lyrics to my song Whiskey and Memories I put out a few weeks ago. This is kind of where I go into the backstory and go, the composition, lyric by lyric, and explain to you what wrote the song, all while trying not to cry and not treating YouTube like my therapist. I really feel like most people hear music, they don't listen to music. And this is my outlet, this is my expression, this is my art. So, yeah, let's get right into it. I wrote this song a few years ago. I was trying to write a song for country radio, a song that the radio wanted, right? That Morgan Wallen could cut. And I don't think he could cut it now, but that's besides the point. You know, I wrote it based on some kind of buried some old emotion and stuff that I sadly had to go and relive and change some lyrics to fit the new season and stuff, mainly in the bridge. But and I always have the privilege of working with some of the best musicians that bring my music to life. I play guitar, acoustic rhythm guitar, very basic campfire kind of stuff. But yeah, it came time to cut this song and rework some of the stuff. And I reached out to my musician friends, sent them the tracks, and they added what the drums and the bass and the steel guitar and the guitar and stuff, and really brought it to life and made it work. And so it's always a pleasure working with them. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get right into the lyric by lyric part. Real quick, if you see me like looking over here, I have my lyrics up right here. Not really a script, just the lyrics that you guys can kind of get a raw sort of, thing for the song. How I how I would explain it to anybody else. So before my stutter takes over, let's get into it. All right, should have found something stronger, something to keep your memory at bay a little longer. Praying didn't do the trick, and neither did Haggard. Now I'm here wishing I had her, but all I have is whiskey and memories. This song has a really cool rhyme scheme throughout the entire song. That there's this one sound, right, strong long Haggard, that the first verse has, and the chorus kind of follows that. But so this first line, I have always wanted to write something like it, and it's loosely based on the opening lyric to Ghost by Jake Owen, a 2006 song that he says I haven't he had to stop. He hadn't had a drop of anything stronger than coffee in 6 months, 10 weeks in 10 months, 6 weeks in one long day, something like that. And I've always enjoyed that line. I thought it was genius. I don't know who wrote it, but it's a very good line. And I always wanted to write something like it. So this was my try at writing that. Um, Something to keep your memory at bay a little longer. Praying didn't do the trick, and neither did Haggard. And that's sort of like I'm somebody that gets stuck in his head a lot. That praying, going to church, reading the Bible, that didn't work. Listen to my sad country music, my Merle Haggard and Whitley, but which we'll get in that later. But none of that worked. It's like you're still stuck here in my head, and you're not leaving. And all I have is whiskey and memories. So getting into the chorus, all right. Whiskey and memories, and ice down forgetting what used to be, letting go of you and me to the sour taste of Tennessee. And this is all imagery, right? And this was part of me sort of doing an ad lib kind of country. What's his name? Luke Combs does this a lot. That he's just like, we're gonna say a bunch of lines that they don't necessarily form a sentence, which is something I enjoy doing. Is telling stories, writing sentences that rhyme and have a rhythm to it, right? But this was my try at just sort of ad-libbing country music, right? And real quick, got a disclaimer. I do not drink Tennessee whiskey. I drink Kentucky bourbon, okay? And I do not drink Jack Daniels. And so, yeah. The next, getting into the second half of this chorus, drown me in Whitley, a vinyl spinning on what could be homecoming 63. You didn't have to leave me with whiskey and memories, right? So all those lines end in E, right? That E sound. And it just kind of worked that way. And to kind of break that down for you, right? Keith Whitley, who sadly passed away today. You know, today's May 9th. I'm recording this, and at least for another hour, I guess. And yeah, so it's he famously drank himself to death, right? That he died of acute alcohol poisoning. So that was sort of the play on that. A vinyl spinning on what could be Homecoming 63, which is a song that Keith Whitley actually wrote himself about his brother. And you didn't have to leave me with whiskey and memories. Homecoming 63, you know, just to kind of backtrack a little bit. That song is sort of like, it tells a story of like this high school love, right? That, yeah, I mean, it just kind of tells this love story of a prom night and, or not prom, but homecoming, right? And, I mean, I enjoy the song, so I had to throw it in there. Getting into the second verse, all right. It tastes like remembrance. The look in her eyes at that first glance spun her around in our first dance. If I hadn't had missed that chance, I wouldn't be drinking whiskey and memories. And this is all imagery, right? That we're setting up that it's like the bourbon, the whiskey, whatever, tastes like the way she looks. It's reminding me of her. Spun her around in our first dance. The things that we used to do, this is what I remember, right? And if I hadn't had missed that chance, if that chance wasn't gone, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be drinking. I wouldn't be left here with a bunch of Polaroids and bourbon, you know. So that's sort of that, you know, not a whole lot to unpack there. But next is the bridge, which we're going to talk about. So I'm going to try not to cry because I cried writing these lyrics. And it came time to cut the song, and I kind of brought the song back out, right? And started going everything and writing the guitar and stuff, making sure everything fit. And the bridge just kind of wasn't there. It didn't have what I needed it to have. And I was sitting and I was trying to figure out what to put there. And the lyric hit me, and then it hit me, right? Cuz I sat there and I wrote down what I wanted to say. And then I read it and I was like, that sucks. the But the bridge says, I don't remember that song. I don't know where it all went wrong. It's not the gone that breaks my heart. It's the never coming back that tears me apart. If we could start over, love, maybe I could get rid of the whiskey and memories. And you know, that's all honest. That's all real. You know, that really kind of reliving what this song exists in. That of going through all that, right? That it's like I don't know where it all went wrong. Like everything was just so good, but it's just not anymore, right? And you know, it's not the gone that breaks my heart, but the never coming back that tears me apart. And that is that I mean that's the part that like I cried at writing. And it's like it's not the fact that she's not here. It's the fact that she's not coming back, you know. And then this last section, these last two lines to this bridge, that if we could start over, love. Many songwriters would have put, if you came back, my love, maybe I could get rid of. But coming back wasn't the mission. It wasn't wasn't the goal, wasn't the prayer. It was starting over, and clearly it didn't work. But it's whatever at that point. If I have any advice to people, when you find your person and you think it's their person, make sure you're their person too, because not everybody's being honest, right? Let's go ahead and do this last chorus. So aside from holding out that Tennessee line, right, just letting that kind of rest in the song, um, what's different here at the end of it, right? That drown me in Whitley, a vinyl spinning on what should be. I wonder, do you think of me? Which is another Keith Whitley song. If you don't know that, I'll pray for you. But yeah, I was able to kind of keep that rhyme scheme the same. But I wonder, do you think of me? If you're anything like me, it's whiskey and memories. And that is the song, and then just close it out with the line that hit pretty hard. But I don't know where it all went wrong, right? I do have an album version of this song coming out. That'll be on the album, sort of a radio mix, right? I've got one song that I have up on this screen over here that I'm building the track to, and fixing to get it shipped over to my drummer here in the next few days, and then get it over to my guitar player, and all the back and forth and stuff. But we're just about done with this record, and I mean, 80% of this record is about one person, but that's besides the point. So I know these videos are boring. I don't care. This is about me and my music, so welcome to it. On that note, it's pretty late. Y'all have a good day, night, whenever you're watching this. If you're watching this, don't know, don't care. Y'all have a good one. God bless you.
I don't know where it all went.